YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be going through and ranking the top 10 best Galaxy Opal cards in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM here on this tier list, or sorry, not tier list, this list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it, and let's start off with number 10. So at the number 10 spot on the list, I have Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he is very, very solid still. A 6'10 power forward with a good wingspan, solid player build, shoots the ball well, doesn't do much off the dribble, but he's got good speed. He's not a horrible finisher, and he's an elite level defensive big who's also a really good rebounder. I think he is able to compete with these top tier dark matter base guys like Embiid, Hakeem, Chet, D-Rob, etc. And that is valuable. He competes with them defensively. He is solidly athletic. I mean, 85 standing, 85 driving. You'd like to see that be a little higher at this point, especially the standing, but he does get the job done in terms of the Hoffs. The jumper's not bad. Shooting badges are good. He's got good speed. Overall, very solid card. And I think top 10 is totally fair. Like, there's a lot of good Galaxy Opals. I think this is the perfect spot for him at that number 10 spot. Number 9 is gonna be Ricky Davis. Like this card, don't love this card is what I'll say. 6'7" with 6'11 wingspan. He's really good except for the defensive end of the court where he's only just like fine, not insane. He's got good stats. His defensive badges are pretty good, but no Hoff on ball is kind of annoying. 98 driving, 94 shot three is really nice. He's an elite slasher and an elite shooter. His jumper is actually very nice. Seth Curry base. The Oscar upper isn't as good this year, but still I think it's a very solid jump shot. Darius Garland dribble style, decent escape, like good card. Can compete at a very high level at the shooting guard position, just not insane in my personal opinion. I'm not like the biggest Ricky Davis fan, but I do think he's a good card. Jonathan Isaac is going to be at number 8. Elite level 6'10" lockdown defender, 7'2" wingspan. Now I will say he is flawed in that he doesn't have a unbelievably elite jump shot. He's an elite slasher and he's an absolutely incredible defender, one of the best defensive wings in all of MyTEAM, with nearly perfect stats and pretty much every single Hall of Fame badge in the game. But he is not an exceptional shooter. Even with his jump shot on very quick, I wouldn't sit here and say it's like the best jumper in the world or anything along those lines. The truth is, though, about Jonathan Isaac, the rush dribble style helps him. He's an elite level slasher. His size is very valuable at 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan, plus his hair makes him look even taller than 6'10". Like, the card provides a lot of value on the court, even without being an elite level shooter. And I think when he's open, he's going to be knocked out. So definitely easier to shoot with the button and the stick as well. Something to keep in mind. I would try that if you're not having success with him and his jump shot. Lot of small forwards coming up here. Next up is LeBron James. LeBron is basically, honestly, relatively similar to John Isaac. He's not as elite of a defender, but he's a very good defender. He still gets really good defensive animations. He's an elite level slasher. What he's got that Isaac doesn't have is a really nice jump shot and a great fade. But similarly to Isaac, he's not really a shot creator. I just like his jump shot a little bit more, even on normal timing. I think I prefer it slightly, at least, to John Isaac's. Defensively, he's not quite as impactful. His badges aren't quite as complete as a base card, but a lot of Opal Bronze are more complete in terms of badges and stuff like that. I love the fade. I think his jumper is really nice. Even on normal, I still like his jump shot. I think as a whole, very, very solid card. And number 7 feels like the right spot for LeBron. Still a card that I do like a lot. Number 6 is going to be Carlos Boozer. I like this card. I think his jumper is money. I think he's really nice, well-rounded, 6'9" with a 7'2" wingspan. Got good size, just like Braun and John Isaac do. He's got 93 speed, 88 3 ball. Really good jump shot, though. So 88 3 ball with a great shot is like, feels better than that. Movement-wise, again, he's not amazing by any means, but he is a very, very good interior defender with great rebounding. Does not have the perimeter defense of John Isaac for sure, or even Braun, but his jumper's the best of the group. Athletically, he's great, and he's got a really nice player build. Plus, on the interior, he is a stud. I love his shot. I think that is the biggest thing that really makes me put him above Braun and Isaac, is that I think his jumper is truly exceptional. So for me, I think number 6 is the right spot for Carlos Boozer. And then number 5 is my favorite of the tall small forwards. I felt like I needed to put pretty much all these small forwards back to back to back to back, because Hansbrough through John Isaac feels like it's relatively opinion-based, depending on what you're looking for at the small forward position. The thing that I love about Hansbrough, first and foremost, he's got every single badge in the game as a base card. He's got Hoff, Deadeye, Limitless, and Set Shot. He's got legitimately very good finishing, and then he's also a very good defender. I think he's the most well-rounded of all these cards in terms of very good jump shot, has some movement, finishes well, good speed, great size, great defense. Like, he gives you the whole package, whereas I feel like all the other guys Boozer's not a great perimeter defender. LeBron doesn't have much in terms of movement, and his badges aren't quite as complete. John Isaac doesn't have an elite release. I feel like Tyler Hansbrough gives you the best of all that in terms of being the most complete option he can be, and I really like the card. I think he's definitely very, very solid. Feels like a top 5 card at the Opal tier for me. I really like Tyler Hansbrough. Big fan of the card. Number 4, Alex Caruso, the best Opal point guard in the game. The card has pretty much dark matter stats and badges. Maybe not quite badges, but not far off it. Elite defensive badges, Hoff Deadeye, Limitless and Set Shot, Hoff Posterizer, Hoff Dimer, and Lightning Launch. Extremely elite defensive stats, in addition to a 95 driving dunk, 93 ball, 95 speed, 98 agility, 94 speed of ball. I mean, he just comes as complete as you're going to see any point guard nearly in the game besides 100 overalls. Like, when it comes to dark matters, their stats are sometimes even worse than Caruso's. His stats are that good. His jumper's legitimately solid. D-Book dribble style is really, really good, and steps behind the back isn't bad either. But LaMelo Escape isn't great. This is not going to be some elite level shot creating point guard who's like one of the best scorers in the game. That's okay. He doesn't really need to be a valuable high level card. And I think Caruso's really, really good. I'm a big fan of him in my team. And I think top 4 for sure. I think he's the best Opal point guard in the game. He's the only Opal point guard on this list, although you could make an argument for a couple of the guys like Cade, Juan Dixon, and even DeJounte Murray. Any of those 3 guys could have been argued on this list and are certainly like honorable mentions to me. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of good Opals. There's a lot of good cards that I left off this list. So keep that in mind. At the end of the day, I gotta leave some guys off. There's only 10 spots. Number 3, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I just value size and switchability at a very high level. And honestly, this card is a better Jonathan Isaac. He's more athletic. He does more off the dribble than Jonathan Isaac does. He gets glitchier finishing animations. He's also very similar defensively, and he's even bigger. I think his animations are probably better as a whole. And honestly, just like John Isaac, not the best jumper. Only a 73 3-ball. I get it. Jump shot's only on normal as well. I just don't care that much, I guess. I don't know. Giannis's inability to be an elite level shooter doesn't knock him down the way that I think it knocks down most other cards because of how dominant he is as a slasher and as a defender. He creates mismatches at every level, even the competitive level, even his Opal still. Extremely good card, not to mention most Opal Giannis's, kind of like what I said with Braun earlier, are a lot more juiced. You're going to get a lot of extra badges on him. He's not hard to find with good legend badges, stuff like that. He's an extremely high level card, and I think he's number 3 on the list. Number 2 is going to come as a surprise to y'all, and I know it is. Joakim Noah. I think he's the second best Opal in the game. That might be a bit higher than y'all were expecting Joakim Noah. In fact, I would assume it almost certainly is. But I love this card. He's 6'11" with a 7'1" wingspan, so he's got solid size. His jumper is incredible, which helps make up for a little bit of a lower 3-ball and no Hoff shooting badges as a base card. He's an extremely elite defender, and he's extremely athletic as well. I think he's a better finisher than Jaren. I think his jumper's better than Jaren's. I think he's honestly more impactful defensively than Jaren is. He rebounds his butt off. Like I said, his jumper is extremely elite. I love this card. He gives me everything I want in the power forward position. Extremely high level defense, athletic ability, and shot making. That's all I need. Joakim Noah gives me all of those things at an extremely high level. I love his jump shot. Do not feel like the 84 3-ball creates a liability at all. He is in my main God squad right now, and I'm not even using Corey Brewer for the duo. If you're using the duo, it makes him even better, but I think without the duo, he's still great. For me, I feel like number 2 for Joakim Noah is totally fair. But the number 1 card at the center position, or at the Opal tier in general, is not a surprise. It's Victor Wembanyama. This is a no-brainer. 7'4" with a 7'8" wingspan. He could still be argued as the best center in the game. He's absolutely dominant in pretty much every single way, not to mention his jumper's pretty much incontestable. And he's got 85 speed at 7'4", which 85 speed at a 7-footer, not amazing. 7'4", it's awesome. The card is amazing. He's extremely glitchy. And the other thing about him, just like what I said with guys like Giannis and Braun, very easy to find with a bunch of extra badges. Honestly, one of the easiest cards to find badged out in my team. It's just, he's going to have half the Wimbies on the auction house have 5+ legend badges and a bunch of extra Hoffs. Like, he's just absolutely souped. So big fan of Wemby, obviously, and he's the best Opal in the game. I don't think that one's particularly debatable. So with that being said, that is going to do it for this list. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.